and it is looking very, very exciting indeed. The gap between the BJP and the Congress in Madhya Pradesh is now fairly startling. The gap is also building between the Congress and the BJP in Rajasthan. And indeed, Chhattisgarh, which many in the Congress would have suggested would be a walkover in their favor, it is quite close. Telangana, yes, the Congress has done incredibly well. Defeating or potentially defeating the BRS looks very much on the cards. But there's some important breaking news, Maria,
yes,
which is coming in as well.
Yes, and you, as you heard from Supriya, she was talking about perhaps the Congress will have a better bargaining power within the India alliance because if they have unseated a regional satrap in the state of Telangana. News coming in that Congress has called the India meeting on December 6th. They will have much to explain to all other partners, particularly as to what happened in a bipolar contest between the BJP and the Congress in the state of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and also Chhattisgarh. And I think that becomes important because, you know, we have been saying that if the Congress were to do well in one of the, states where it's a bipolar contest, then they would have a better bargaining power. Yes, they may have trumped BRS, a regional strong force in the state of Telangana, but when it is about a direct fight between the BJP and the Congress, it almost appears to be a mismatch. BJP winning with almost the double and perhaps bettering its number ever in the state of Madhya Pradesh, a state that they have been in power for 20 years, a chief minister who has been in power for 18 years, and in Rajasthan, which is following the revolving door process. But look at Chhattisgarh number. Sanjay, the question here is 45-43. This is too close an election for the Congress party's comfort.
Chhattisgarh, not just Congress party, but many others kind of declared the election to have been won by the Congress for many months ago. Since then, there are not many people who actually were giving any chance to the BJP. These numbers, of course, these numbers are closing because morning when counting started, Congress was leading very comfortably in terms of the trends that were coming in. This is only election in terms of three other places where counting is going on, where we are seeing kind of a reversal of a trend. A total reversal has not happened, but that is the closing of gap is actually happening in Chhattisgarh. This is very, very interesting. These elections would go to the wire as the numbers start coming in and counting still in process. I think Mr. Baghel was trailing. I don't know whether he is still trailing or not. T.S. Sindhya also is trailing. That again becomes very interesting because both Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister trailing. In a situation where Mr. Baghel, on behalf of Congress Party, was actually touring every other state and was acting as Congress's troubleshooter, both in terms of with all kinds of resources.
Sure. But just Sanjay, one important development that's just come in. Bhupesh Baghel is now in the lead. So that changed in the last little while.
I'd like to make a point.
Yes, please.
You know, this election was widely being talked about as a battle of welfare schemes because, you know, everybody was talking about welfare and schemes and Labharti and so on. If you look at the kind of trends we're seeing right now, BRS, which was so dependent on the welfare schemes that it had unfurled over the last 10 years, is losing the state.
Yes.
Ashok, Gehlot in Rajasthan,
with all his welfare schemes,
looks like he may be losing.
Yeah.
You know, and even Chhattisgarh.
So Revri doesn't amount to much.
No, even in Chhattisgarh, again, where Baghel had done so many welfare schemes, particularly in the field of agriculture, you know, now it's turned out to be a really close contest. So obviously there is much more to elections than just trying to woo voters with welfare schemes. There's organizations, the mechanics of it, running an election campaign. We just need to quickly go across to
NDTV's Pratibha, who's got a guest with her. Go ahead, Pratibha.
Well, I have with me AICC Secretary as well as Telangana State in charge, Mr. Mansoor Ali Khan, sir. I mean, the wave moving towards Congress, how happy are you at this time?
It's actually, it was expected and we've been on the ground and right from when Rahulji did the Bharat Jodo Yatra, the cadre were really enthusiastic and then the contribution of Sonia ji for Telangana and the creation of Telangana, and Priyanka ji's campaign, Kharge Saab's campaign, and then all the local leadership, and because we've been seeing from the last 3-4 months how the ground situation is and what was reported. There was a huge difference, and the people of Telangana were actually fed up of the BRS government and the failed promises.
In fact, we are stationed outside the party headquarters here in Telangana, and there's a lot of festive spirit right outside with a lot of firecrackers and drum beats that have been playing. But then we also hear of ministers from Karnataka who have been lodging themselves here in Telangana. Is there some sort of a fear or insecurity in terms of BRS approaching a lot of your candidates?
Absolutely not. Actually, this is all, a creation. And as all party workers, the party members who are being deployed by the High Command in the electoral process of the party have been here. And absolutely, there is no fear about any of our MLAs or candidates being in trouble. And we are absolutely sure we will all be together and we will form a very healthy government.
So, sweeping majority is what you say?
Definitely. Because it's the reflection of the confidence of people of Telangana have in the Congress party, and definitely we will be sweeping into power.
So, and a bigger question is, if the Congress were to come to power, who will be the chief minister?
See, in Congress party there is a process, and there will the MLAs and the High Command will finally take a call, and there is we have established process in the Congress party.
Right. So that was Mr. Mansoor Ali Khan talking about Congress heading in for a sweeping majority in Telangana. Well, a lot would depend on how the trends would really proceed from here onwards in Telangana.